is green, and I don't mean material things. Freedom to the land, child, woman, and man, as we take up for what we stand. Better days and better nights, as we stand and unite. We're one and the same. Why is it so hard not to point and to blame? Better sheet, get our houses in order, and we'll see the peace. There are steps that we must take if we wanna see.
I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us.
The sake of us, the sake of us.
I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. No more feeling, telling me beneath. What a beautiful moment, and a sight I can't wait to see. Even if I miss it, at least I wasn't part of the mission. Changing lives of men, women, and children. Our glory goes to He that causes us all to be. And if they're thinking we can, then show them that. Just as long as we stand, a monument. We the people can't be broken as long as we stay focused. I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. For the sake of us. I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. I see my people rising, yeah.
All right, shalom, shalom, everyone. I am Nasika Umuna, or Princess Umuna, and I have my special guest here and sister. Whenever she is ready. All right, and
Shalom, Slika. I was on the phone with hubby. And sorry, you all. Yasmin Shamar, Avait Shamar. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, everyone. And so today we're going to be talking about what's in a name. We're going to get into that topic soon, but you know us, we like our icebreakers. If you're new to Fabz Chat, welcome. Two sisters, from little girls to young women to now we are both married. And so life has definitely been an experience for us. We've had ups, we've had downs, but told our Supreme King that we are here. We're servants of Him, daughters of Him, and we're just bringing enlightenment, love, and importantly, laughter to our community, because I think we could always use some laughter. All right, so we have some icebreakers. That's what we love to do. I feel like with as much as we've been around each other, I feel like some of those icebreakers aren't even hard anymore. But you'd be surprised how some of these things are not very common. And that's what we want to do too. We hope to shape the bond of sisters, shape the bond of individuals, whether you're blood sisters or spiritual sisters, cousins. I think that family, and we both think that family collectively is a powerful foundation. Knowing that you have someone that loves you, knowing that you have someone that is there for you, whether it's a sister, and we know our husbands love us. Of course, that's included in this package deal. We're saying without a shadow of a doubt, we're just grateful to have an abundance of love around us. And that is one of the things that we believe molds a healthy community. So yes, we're going to get to it. So while I get this icebreaker set up, my sister, would you like to have any comments or remarks?
Kane. I'll say I'm excited about this Fabz chat. Again, it is titled "What's in a Name." Again, I'm really excited to get into it and be able to share, where we're coming from, what it means, and I'm excited about doing this icebreaker. Again, it's like I don't we don't necessarily need icebreakers, but to say there's already so much we know about each other, but then with knowing so much about each other, there are things that you do forget. And it's like there'll be questions asked, and it's like, I know this one. So
It's true.
I hope it's enjoyable for all of the viewers and all those that participate. I enjoy that. So looking forward to getting into this session.
All right. All right. I'm going to share it. All right. And shalom, shalom, Geberit, Toda Rabah for tuning in. Can you see this?
I can, but it's like the two boxes are.
Yeah, it's giving me the blues today. I thought. All right, so we're just gonna go. We're just gonna keep on going. Shalom, shalom. So this is our icebreaker. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 questions or little quizzes, and then at the bottom you can see there's some extra traits that we have to know about each other. Your sister is either early bird, introvert, cat person, optimist, pessimist, dog person, extrovert, night owl. All right. So what we'll do, Slika y'all, what we will do, we'll start off with the first question and then we'll choose one of the your sister is a. Shalom, shalom, and welcome back. Welcome back.
Hello.
All right. So since you are the younger sister, I yield the floor to you.
All right. So the first one, so the way it's asking, I'm asking you what your favorite food is? Or is it like I'm being
It's asking you what is It's asking you, yeah.
Okay, so question is, what is her favorite food? So I have to narrow this down to, are we just talking about dinner food? Are we talking about breakfast?
Dinner food. Let's go with dinner food. Let's go with dinner.
Okay, so a dinner food that I remember has been your favorite has been lasagna.
That's right. Ding, 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 ding. All right. Now your sister is a. We can choose. We can just choose one of those for now. Either one.
Okay, and I will say my sister is a dog person.
Yeah, definitely dog over cat. It's not that I don't like cats, y'all, but cats, I don't know. It's something very suspicious about cats. It's something real suspicious about cats. Now, growing up, Garfield, because Garfield likes lasagna. That's funny. I just caught that. That's funny. Growing up, I just love the way they would have Garfield. This is gonna sound weird. The way he would eat the lasagna was just as a kid. It's like that is so cool the way they make him do that. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and answer that one as well. What is her favorite food? So I've known this one for years, and they've changed a little bit, but for this one, it's pizza. My sister's favorite food is pizza, and I would say she is she's an early bird. She's been an early bird since her older teen years. Yeah, she's an early bird. I'm not going to even go into that for me. All right, let's get back to the screen. All right, hold on. Oh, okay. I think I have to remove this first. We're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep going. Yes. Montana, California. All right. Well, we're definitely praying that you stay safe up there. I didn't even know. I mean, sometimes we get weather reports of other states. Honestly, I didn't even know that California was a windy place. I thought that was like Michigan and Chicago. And I know it's a few of them up there. I know it's a few of them up there that get windy, but I really thought I didn't know that California got windy. So, Toda for enlightening my little self. All right. My sister?
Oh, yes. And shalom. Toda, for joining us again today. We are. Wait, were we about to do another icebreaker, or were we going into?
Lo, I have no idea why that happened. So the floor is yours.
Okay. Again, Toda, all for joining us. Today's topic, if you notice, is called "What's in a Name." So I think it's interesting for us because, like, before we get on for our Fabz chats, like there are a gazoobalas worth of topics that we cover in conversation on a daily basis. Gazoobala is like it's up to like million, billion, jillions, you know,
Oh,
gazoobalas.
I was just about to ask you to explain to the people what a gazoobla is. You did very well.
It's a large, like uncountable number. So you hear gazoobala, it's just like it's a large number. Like too many numbers to count. But one of the topics that we were discussing, it was about names, particularly like our household name. And just even like Hebraic names, names for children, especially I feel like this is still connected also with Family Matters, as it just journeys, with us again as two sisters, young women who are newly married and still in the early stages, of marriage experienced, but like it's still new. They still, still young lovers. So, but yes, we were talking about, household names and just like names that we'll desire to have for our little ones, names that are connected to our home, what our home name means, by each Shamar. Shamar means to guard. You can find it in Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. You can find it in Deuteronomy, chapter 6, chapter 5. You can find the word guard, I've like all throughout, our literature. But that's what Shamar means. And so to be able to share, what the name of our home means and what I believe for years not new. Anyways, it's still young lovers, still young lovers. Experienced, of course, but experienced young lovers, teen love. But yes, household name, we see House of Balance, we see again by Shamar or House of Shamar, house, that guards or house to guard. We again, we're just talking about the importance of names and the amount of weight that our names hold, and even just how, like, I would even just like to share how we can see in other cultures when there is a name given, to a child, like there is like so much beauty behind the purpose of naming that child, like the story behind the names. And I find it to be such an adventurous and enjoyable thing to ask people like, well, how did your name come about? What does your name mean? So I think that will be a fun, like interactive one for those that don't mind sharing with us, also in this time. How did you get your Hebraic name? How did your household name come about? Or, what's the story, behind it? I think that is such an enjoyable, and then like an enjoyable process to share with. So yes, I will pause right there. But yes.
Great introduction. And you all, this was my sister, as she was the first one to elaborate on the topic. This was her topic of choice. As she said, we have our little behind the scenes before we get on here. And this is like as we present ourselves, this is who we are. We laugh, we love, we learn, and we do want to make it clear, we fear the Most High. We fear the Supreme King. We love this walk. We love our culture. What me and my sister are bringing for the sisters, particularly for the little girls, the children, is something to be able to look forward to as they get older. And I say that because I don't want to say I know for a fact, but I do believe that some of our young ladies, some of our little girls, they need more interactive things that are for us, by us. This is a set apart, setting. You don't have the risk of seeing something, oh, I didn't want my child to see that, or I didn't want my child to hear that. Unless it's a topic, that is a very mature topic. But even with that, we still know how to pace ourselves and talk about it in a respectful way. We want this to be something that is enlightening, something that's fun, and something that is still righteous and set apart. Again, my sister did a great job elaborating on the topic, what's in a name. And we're not even talking about, the Most High's name. We're taking this down a level lower, to his creation, his people. And like my sister was saying, other cultures, they put a lot of love and detail and even ceremonies within the names of their children. And so our culture upholds the same thing. I think in today's time, it's a little different because, like I say, a lot of us are coming into the knowledge of who we are, or we're coming out of I was given that name because it was something, my uncle's cousin, grandpa gave me or something like that. So a lot of people, they'll like their name, but in essence, there wasn't a cultural background behind their name. So when we hear people that know what their name means, we're not saying that you're more special than the next person. It just goes in alignment with what our culture stands for. And every name had a purpose. You weren't just named something because it was cute, like my sister alluded to. And that is a beautiful thing. She was able to bring that out. And as we discussed that topic before getting on, we talked about the importance of, before we have our children, we know our Ish are going to put a lot of thought into those names. We know that for sure, that they're going to make sure that before it is in print, that name has a special meaning and that it is a name that they will be called by for the rest of their life. That's a weight. Sometimes we think of weights as like bills and, oh, what are we going to eat tomorrow and things like that. But that is a weight, naming your child. We don't just want to pick a name out of the Bible because they're cute, or pick a name out of the Bible because they got this nice little cute little feet or little curly hair or their eyes are slanted a certain way. No, we want that name to be affirmation for who they are and set the pace for their life, even as they are young. There's a culture, and just talking about this, we're talking about other cultures and their naming process, so you all can see that this is something that, in my opinion, is universally done within different cultures. It's not just about, name that child that, and that's the end of it. There are some cultures that watch the child's attributes before they give the child a name. And that's the way it was supposed to be with our culture. So as my sister talks about it, when we have our first children, this is going to be such a Most High willing, a beautiful and momentous occasion for us, because we'll actually get to live out the things that we've been reading, live out the things that we have been praying for as far as the children. And so we put a lot of emphasis on this because you all know we come from a big family oriented, and that is something that we push for. Because I'll keep on saying this, it can sound silly. If you ever think about movies with villains, if you ever think about people who are in despair, whether it's spiritually or physically, those people a lot of times do not have a good family support system. And again, having a big family does not mean that that family supports you. Knowing that you're loved, knowing that you have a group of people in that foundation, in that hedge, that care for you and that support you, is one of the greatest things that molds a child's, young man, young woman, individual, even as an adult. If you get your family as an adult, those things help to ground you. They really do. They help to ground you. And that's why we believe, at least that's why I believe, that the Torah talks so much on family structure, because I believe the Most High knew that would be very pivotal in sustaining us as a people and our sanity and our sanity and our sanity. All right. On that note, I will pause and see if my sister wanted to elaborate on that. And then after she says something, we're going to go back into another icebreaker.
Yeah, just to add on to it, like say the beauty and the responsibility of the names, and just like what names, we'll look at using, or what names we will look is going to help define, who the Yeledeem, or, who our children are going to be. And being able to show them like references, to their names, like just looking again at like how defining the names are, like for those who may have had children born during a storm, or they might have had a child born either at home, they were born either like really fast, or, they took no time whatsoever, to get here, or they, came at a time where it was just like, oh my goodness, they, surprising. It's like having something in, like, being able to attach those pieces to the already developing personality of little people's, I think in of itself is beautiful. And then being able to see them, grow into those names. Whether they have a first name, middle name, last name, or whether they just have a first name and last name. And I will just share that about my Ish. He does not have a middle name. His name is just first and last. So, I thought that was interesting, just even with that, with the purpose of why his father named him the way that he did. He and his siblings with, first name, last name, but it's like it makes a sentence or a statement, of who this child is expected to be. And again, I just think that is so beautiful, for even how in certain cultures, like some will wait a year until they see the personality, develop, or they'll do like different games. They'll offer them different things and see, what are you going to go for? Are you want to do business? You want to do, are you going to be a silly little person where you just making people laugh? What is it that, they are going to choose to do in their life? And that is kind of how they learn to define them, by their name. And I think, again, just being able to see a person's name, not just written on paper, but see it expressed through who they are. It's like, oh, that's why you're called that. It's like, oh, that's why that's why your nickname is this, or that's why your name is that. So I think it's precious because, again, it's like you say, it's a weight, to the names that we have, or even to the names that are given. But it's not a bad weight. It's a responsibility. It's a task that I believe just helps to even define, as a nation, like, okay, who's going to do what, who's going to work where, what are your hands gifted to do? And so again, that name just, it really helps, to be able to define who they are and be able to just learn and see them, I believe, develop into that title, into that personality. It just, to me, it's adorable to think about. I'm just thinking about little people.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Really, Papa? Really, Papa? You can't see the comments on the screen?
I think they're going a little slow for me. Okay. Shalom, Kiki.
Yes, shalom, Kiki, and shalom, Papa.
Shalom.
Welcome. So glad that you're able to be in. So glad you're able to be in. That was a great breakdown. Great breakdown. Like I say, if y'all don't get the gist of what we're talking about, then we're going to go over it some more. But what's in a name? That's the question. That's what you should ask yourself. What is in a name? Especially if you're about to name a new child, or you're just looking at your children that you already have. And I do want to say this because oftentimes a lot of people will get backlash for changing their name. I won't go into specifics of the individual, but there was an individual that we, Most High bless his memory, that was named by a family member. You have to be careful about these names. And the name of that family member, their middle name, their full first name and second name meant something that as we got older and was like, that's what that means. That was actually a negative affirmation on that individual's life, all their life, because of what they were named. Again, I won't go into detail of what that name was, but there is power in a name. Hey, Auntie. Good to see you in. Good to see you in. This is our Auntie. Love you. Love you. And yes, so we're going to do, let's do a little special shout out. So we have Kiki here. We're going to bring her up there. I definitely want to shout out something special about this young lady. That young lady is very purpose-driven. She is multi-talented. And let me tell you something. One other thing, she gives the best scalp massages.
Yes.
She does hair really, really well. And she is a great mother. She does hair really well, and she's a great mother. She's very sweet, and we're grateful that she is a part of our lives. Yes. We're going to shout out this lady too. This is our Auntie. This is Yeledeem's sister. Hey, Auntie. And yes, so, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. We believe in giving people their flowers, especially while you're still here. You know,
Yes.
when people show up for you and you're passing, it's beautiful. It's great. It shows that you've impacted lives. But showing up for people while we're in the here and now is very important. Oh, miss you too, Auntie.
Miss you too.
Please
Yeah.
tell Grandma we said hello and we love her.
Yes.
Yes,
Matters. Goodness gracious. I feel
yes,
like
family
it comes back around full circle. Yes. Again, having people
matters.
um in your, I won't even just say in a circle, because I won't just say a circle. A circle is so small and so close, but it's like having
That's true.
people in your life, because life is precious. Having people in your life that really can be called family, that are there, in the ups, the downs, the in-betweens. Um, that in and of itself is a gift, that in and of itself is a blessing. And so, yes, they say giving flowers where flowers are due. Being able to laugh,
My goodness.
cry, being able to eat well. Let me tell y'all something.
Yes.
Being well taken care of by family. Okay, look, that in itself, again, that is a blessing. So,
And here's a side note. You think my sister and my husband play around a lot? Oh my goodness gracious. Our father and our auntie, the originators, I would say, of their generation of that. Goodness gracious.
we have to keep the tradition alive. We have to keep it going. So I just, it has to happen.
It is something interesting. We're going to go ahead and do another icebreaker. Let us get this. Okay. It just never obeys me. I see. All right, we're about to do another icebreaker. And with this icebreaker, you want to start first, or you want me to start?
You can start. I already started last time.
All right. So let's see. Oh, this one's easy. What is her favorite color? So here's a story to this. Her favorite color used to be yellow. I think that really originated because, y'all, we used to watch Power Rangers all the time.
Oh my goodness gracious.
We watched Power Rangers all the time. I think, well, in the last few years, of course, this new generation or new whatever they have going on, I haven't watched really any of those. I think SPD is the last type of Power Rangers I watched, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, her favorite color was yellow because of the Yellow Ranger, in my opinion. I don't really know if that's all the way true. But now her favorite color is purple. Her favorite color is purple. And let's see. She is a I'll say that one for last. She is a dog person as well. She is a dog person as well.
Absolutely. And I'll say you were absolutely spot on with the story of why yellow was my color. I thought I should say a bolder head. But yes, my favorite color was yellow. Because I was the Yellow Ranger growing up. And so there was one, I'm trying to think, why did I really stop liking purple? I think I was about 8 or 9? No, maybe 10 when I started liking purple. I know our colors were. Wait, am I done for your color too, or just mine?
Oh, you can do mine too. You can go with the same question. We try to do the icebreakers at the same time, just because the amount and the way that we're doing it.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
My sister's favorite color is pink, but not just any pink. Her favorite is magenta pink. All of our stuff growing up was pink and yellow. And then when it started getting a little harder to keep it pink and yellow, we started getting purple and pink.
Yeah.
And it was just I really just purple started growing on me. And so I was like, oh, purple and pink are absolutely a dynamic duo. So I really started liking the purple as well. But it did start off as yellow for the majority of my little person lifetime, because I was definitely convinced I was the next upcoming Yellow Ranger, you guys. I was convinced. Only one time, I think, in Power Rangers history have they actually now put in where there is a Purple Ranger. That was a side note. So yes, I forget which ones it was, but yes, the lady she was a Purple Ranger, and I was like, gasp.
You could have actually been a Purple Ranger if you would have got into acting, because a lot of the Yellow Rangers were melanated women. How often are you all going to be here? Oh, we do this every Wednesday. Every Wednesday we start at 4:10 or 4:15 p.m. depending on the day. And we do it every Wednesday. So you can catch us here every Wednesday, Auntie.
Yeah.
Oh, but Eastern time, because I do know you're in Texas. And when I visited Texas, that time zone threw me for a loop. For a loop.
Okay, so I
Yes,
did the color one. Is it my turn to do another one?
you have to do one at the bottom.
I think I'm gonna save those last two because I need to get a dictionary for the last ones. But I will say my sister is a night owl. She became an early bird after certain work things, but
Yeah.
like work related, she was an early bird, but just average day night owl.
Yes. I like the
Night.
night. I like the night. I really do. Like I said, we used to have to get up for school. We used to have to get up for school, and I used to loathe getting up early, y'all. I used to loathe it. I would still be sleepy. I'm just like, I don't like getting up early. Of course, I had to get used to it, but I prefer the nights over the earlies, indubitably. All right, so here we go. Oh, okay, hold on. I see something here.
GC, we have a comment from our father.
Oh, let me get it up real quick. So, really, Papa?
This was loud. Oh my god.
So, okay, so here's another fun fact about us. Like, we loved our brats. We loved our Barbie dolls for a long time. A very long time. And our parents would buy them for us. So hey, it was like, yeah, bring it on. I don't remember how many we had, but between me and my sister, we had so many Barbie dolls, and we had the Bratz. We used to watch the Bratz cartoon, and we used to have, the four main characters. Then the side characters, there was this, y'all, that was so much doll clothes, so much. We had days where we dedicated washing their hair,
Yes.
bathing them,
Washing their clothes, and we had a whole spa day treatment set out for our dolls. Like,
they had a church. Yes, y'all. That is oh my goodness. But you all, there's a memory. I'm glad my our papa brought that out. There's a memory I had at 16 years old. Me and my sister were upstairs playing with the Bratz and Barbies. We just made a whole community. Everybody was one. So we had the Bratz and Barbie dolls. And as we were playing, I just paused and I had stopped and I was like, I said, there's gonna come a time when we're adults and we won't be there's gonna come a time when we're adults and we're not playing with these toys like that anymore. I remember it just stuck out and I was just like, and then we just finished playing. But I remember that till this day. There's some memories that you forget things and they're brought up. But that one, I remember I was 16 years old, was upstairs. We had a bunk bed, y'all. We loved our bunk beds. And we were just, taking that time to play. We did not, our parents didn't believe in rushing our childhood. And we definitely loved all of our little toys. Oh, let's see. Kiki says, that's beautiful. I would love for my girls to play or ask for dolls that long. Yes, I encourage, if you are 15, 16, I'm not saying you have to act like a little girl, but just cherish those girl moments, being a young lady as much as you can. Because think about it. You can be a child desiring to be an adult, and you're going to get to that place. But as an adult, you can't keep going back wanting to be a child. You can't reclaim that. I'm not saying you can't, because I know everybody has different ways of working through whatever it is they have gone through. But once you're an adult, and you do have to deal with adult responsibilities, even when you don't want to. I think it's very important for our young ladies, our young men as well, but for our young ladies to get the fullness of their childhood. Maisha and I, we often talk about 14 and 15-year-old girls and even boys talking about, I want a boyfriend, I want a girlfriend. Like, your mind, you're not even mentally developed yet to go into that. Please get to know yourself. It's different. I know people say, well, they do it in different places in Africa and they do it over this and thing. But I'm like, you all, they have grounds for that. Like the whole community does that, not just a certain few. We have. Oh my goodness gracious. Not steal the dolls. Oh my
Right.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, just had to think about that, Sometimes you just have to go back, take a deep breath, and just relish those things. But those memories are so beautiful. You enjoyed being a child as you should. Some children today don't have that opportunity. That is very true. That is also very true. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
You're absolutely right. Everybody does not have that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're going 4 and 4. I see it equal. So we have views on Facebook and we have views on YouTube. And that's one of the important things we talk about too with Family Matters. It's important that with the structure of family, we get to protect that. I know one of the hot topics of today is that women are acting masculine, and that a lot of men are acting feminine. And not nobody, but a lot of people aren't getting to the root. What happened? Why are they like this? Are we trying to bring solutions or are we just pointing the finger at our people over and over? Shalom, shalom, aim. Welcome on in. Welcome on.
Shalom.
It's a family affair. Which brings us to our next. This isn't an icebreaker, y'all. This is actually like a sidebar to what we were talking about in our last session. Stranger, ... danger. A lot of times we talk about safety a lot. And a lot of times people look at it, men, women, little people, they were like, well, that's not necessary. But a lot of times we don't go through the situations that make us think like that could have been me or that was close. So we're so comfortable with doing things that we're able to, for lack of better words, just get away with on our day-to-day schedule. But I'm going to bring it up. Let me just send it to you really quickly. And me and Maish discussed this video. I sent it to him when I found it. And my sister, we discussed this too before coming on. You all give me a second to get this pulled up. The system obeys Maish. It is definitely disobedient to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. So it's getting it pulled up. Oh, I wonder if I can actually watch this here. Wow, it's telling me to sign in. Let me see. I don't think it's gonna let me pull it up without signing in. And I don't want to sign in. Oh, okay. No, it does not require me to sign in. But the only thing is I have to play it as soon as it comes up. All right, y'all, give me just a second. Because I can't rewind it. So I'm going to, wow, how am I going to do this?
While you work on that, I can just kind of bring those up to speed on what we were talking about.
Yes,
the title of this portion is, and even the sidebar we kind of took, we're talking about, the dolls and things like that. Like, I feel like it still works, just kind of in tandem with what we're talking about earlier. But the title of this one is What's in a Name? And again, so this has to do with, either a household name, how we name our children, what we plan to name our children, almost like the reasoning for naming the children, what we name them, and like the purpose, that's behind their names. Just thinking about it, if we got a doll that was like a duplicate of another doll, like I had how many Yasmin dolls? I had the Yasmin Brat doll, which was, of course, that was cool because I was like, there's a doll that has the same name as me. So I was born before the Brats were out, so I was not named after the Bratz doll. I was a little more. I was before the dolls came out, but having the same name, as a doll, and I was like, oh, I had like 8 or 9 Yasmin dolls. So I had to find different names to give them. So I was like, well, let me find different ways, to name so I had Yasmin. I had Yaz. I had Yazalina. I think I had Yasmina. I had Talia. I had it was Talia and oh my goodness, Yazalina. So I found like 8 or 9 different ways to utilize my name, with the dolls. But that was, for us, that was like, we was practicing like, okay, these are our children, because that's kind of how we treated our dolls, y'all. Our baby dolls might as well have just been
Yes.
like our children practice. They all had a different name. If it was the same one, it was like, okay, y'all twins, y'all gonna have a similar name. So yeah, it's like, what's in the name, and so like we were holding on to that. I would say even from being little, again, I've always found it to be an enjoyable thing to ask, well, how did you get your name? What does your name mean? Or the name of someone's children, what's the story behind it? I find it inspirational because it's like, whether they are little peoples or whether they are bigger little peoples, to see their name and to be able to see that they are walking in like the definition of their name, to see them, living the example of what their name is, I think is precious. And then it gives me inspiration and encouragement. Like, okay, again, being of the house of Shamar is like, okay, when we name our children, how to still have their names connected to their father's name and still have their own, like, personality in their names as well. So, I think again, just the history of names, like the processing of determining names again for those in different locations, they will take a year to name. Oh my goodness. They will take a year to name their babies after they see their personalities, after they see their behavior, and different things like that. And that's where they gain, the meaning of their name. And so I think that is precious. Are we ready?
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to let the video play, let it, take its toll, and then we're just going to start back from where it cut off from. I was trying my best, but it won't let me go back. That is great. So Dula Mira said, we take our children's name very serious. That is good. That is good. Yeah. Nieces and nephews. Oh, they're coming. They are definitely coming. They are.
But yes, that is. I just spoke of this earlier today. I actually made mention of you and your mishpachah and your family. I was talking to my sister about it. I was like, it's like I was talking to her about y'all, like you all, as 9 children in the family. We come from a family of 9. And it was like the names of the children like form a story. And I was like, that is beautiful. I was like, that is absolutely beautiful. And again, like coming from a big family and being able to see that expressed, I was like, that is beautiful. Inspirational. Yes. Very inspirational. So
yes. And also we teach 2 of her little ones. Well, not little ones. Mature and what do you call them? One's middle, one's high school. I don't like to call them little children that are in middle school, but I don't know. I just still see them as little people. So
they're middle people.
Yeah, so we teach her young men. We teach her young men in the school that we teach for. Yes. And Yehuda is definitely a character. Oh my goodness. Definitely a character.
Right.
Oh my goodness gracious. Really, Auntie? Y'all just gonna tell all of our business.
Right.
One thing
just gonna be out there.
One thing that my sister did say about the names, and even Dula Amira, about the seriousness in a child's name. Growing up, most of the majority of my siblings knew. I'm not gonna say all. I can't speak for the ones that I'm not sure of, but the majority of my siblings knew what our names meant. As a little girl, I knew that my name meant faith. And that was huge to me. I was like, oh, my name means faith. That was always something that was beautiful to me. Always. Always, always. So, y'all, this is about to be an interesting side topic for today. All right. Please bear with me. Again, this thing is very disobedient. It's obedient to my ish, but every time I get on this thing, it's very disobedient. So we're gonna go ahead and press play. Okay, so it says every parent's worst nightmare, one child snatched, two more that still need your protection. Again, you're gonna see who this video was done by. So everyone, please, please, please pay close attention. Hold on. Why is there no sound? All right, one more time, you all. Please bear with me. All right, so give me another moment. My sister, could you please take over while I get this thing in order?
I sure can. So every topic that we are covering, either in this session or that we have covered in sessions before now, have all, I will say, been under the topic of family matters. From talking about the importance of protecting children, again, from stranger danger, talking about, our upcoming as sisters, what we have seen, in communities thus far, the naming of children, like who we are surrounded by, who we surround, our children by. It is all just still wrapped up in family matters. So something that we wanted to make it a point to do when we came in for our sessions is, for again, our last session, we talked about the importance of awareness of the children that have gone missing. And so for every session, every time that the Fabs come to chat, is wanting to make sure that we bring some type of acknowledgement to the children that that are still missing, the things that are taking place in these different states, whether it's the state that we're currently in, or it's our neighboring state, or if it's one that really, I don't want to say has nothing to do with us, but if it's not necessarily connected to our state, it's just still bringing awareness to these different situations and scenarios and things like that, and saying, what can we do to help safeguard one another, safeguard ourselves, and safeguard the children of those that are around us, and even bring awareness to those that are still considered missing. And so, yes, in the midst of the laughter, in the midst of the joy, there's also this that we want to make sure that we share, to be able to restore that type of joy to someone's home and household by bringing awareness.
Okay, I appreciate you for saying that. And I even appreciate, there was an earlier comment by Gabaret Shakur where she said, you enjoy being a child as you should. Some children today don't have that opportunity. So a lot of the children that are gone missing, whether it be runaway or they were actually taken, once they start getting in that environment, that big piece of their childhood, that innocence, can easily be taken away. So when we talk about family matters and we talk about the importance of being vigilant and just also not really big on these young people going places by themselves, 16, 15. I know they do it all the time. If you allow them to do it, at least let them go with some friends. But that's not an adult. You're not even legal at 15 and 16. And you're going somewhere by yourself. Most predators or people that target individuals, they're looking for people who are alone. It doesn't matter, I can fight. But if it's more than one person, or if the person strategically does this, they know how to single out people and get them. They're people, this is their profession, kidnapping young people. So it's not something they're just doing. They have a method. So that's why we're big advocates. Just, if you can help it, go with somebody, or have the 360 app, or an app that allows you to know where your family members are. That's very important. I believe if some family members had that, that would have been at least a huge indicator of, hey, this is where they possibly are. Because if someone finds out, they can throw their phone out, but you at least have last traces of where that individual was last. All right, we're about to get to the video. It is finally acting in accordance with what it's supposed to do. All right, so before I bring that up, we're going to bring this comment. Absolutely, we were just discussing Yehuda driving his bike to work. I think not. I am definitely with you. Definitely with you. See, that's wise right there. That's wisdom. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, you all, we're about to play this video. So everyone, please pay attention. And also for those that are tuning in, Toda, thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to spend your time with the Fab sisters. Here you have Beit Shamar, and then you have Beit Talamid Yahu. Also, you all know us by our ministry name, Beit Mazan or House of Balance Ministries. Toda, thank you. We really do appreciate it. We really do. Even if you choose to not speak, we're just grateful for your presence. All right, let's get into this video. Please, everyone, please, if you could put a one or just put some type of um, message in letting me know that you can hear this video. It's been giving me the blues for a good little minute.
Mother is walking with 3 toddlers. Now look at this stranger covering himself with a blanket. Without warning, he violently snatched the littlest youngster, a 3-year-old girl. The stunned grandmother chases after him, leaving twin brothers bewildered and alone. You can see this little guy hysterical over what he saw.
Now, this video really hit home for me because I just had this discussion with my mother about why I would not allow her to take my children with her alone to the movies. I can understand why that may sound harsh to many. As men, it is our responsibility to protect and lead our families. And part of that responsibility requires us to make hard choices and set harsh boundaries to keep them safe. Where these hard decisions may be difficult for our wives to make because they tend to lean more on the side of wanting to please those around them, we have to be the ones that put our foot down and say, no, that can't happen. Not because I don't understand that my children love their grandma, but because I understand that grandma is not capable of keeping them safe. While my mother understood and respected the boundary, this type of standard can oftentimes lead to gaslighting and shaming tactics from friends and family. If something were to happen to your kids because you're too afraid to seem overbearing or paranoid, you may never forgive yourself.
Mother.
All right, y'all, it started giving me the blues, but it did play. That video right there, I sent it to Maish. We had a whole discussion about it before I even shared it, because a lot of things that we talk about, for those that are married, there are a lot of things that I encourage, and I believe some households already do it. You talk with your ish, talk with your wife or husband, and make sure, all right, is this okay to share, because you could have a different mindset on something and it not be in alignment with your husband or with your wife. My ish was like, oh yeah, that's good. It's like, that's a good video. And I was grateful. I'm like, okay, because like he said, that's coming from another man, you all, and my ish, he shares the same sentiment. So if that means if my ish being protective, that man who we don't know, other men might have that same mindset. And as he said, for us as women and occasionally men, but he's predominantly talking about the women that want to please everyone around them. That might not be the safest thing. I don't know how long ago that was, but that poor little one that was in distress because they don't know what to do. Then the grandma, she's trying her best. Her grandbaby was just taken from her. That's a situation that you don't want for anyone. You don't want anyone to go through that. Let's pull up all right, so we have AIM here with the comment. Very true. It's hard to fight off more than one attacker, even if you have fighting skills. It's very true. And then Auntie says, true. Teach your children to compare, especially if there is an attempt of kidnapping. Compare the height, weight, and facial features to someone the family may know, and never let your children walk behind you. My. Y'all, it's really real. Hold on, you all. Let's get this together. All right. So yes. What are your thoughts? Before I go in, we would love to hear you all's or read you all's comments on what you all think. The comments do come up on the screen so that others can see it. So please share your thoughts. Go ahead, sister.
I definitely had my stomach over here twirling. It's like being able to prevent to the best of our ability situations like that. And being able to make sure that those that are around us are able to understand why decisions have to be made. Um, Again, it might not be the most, comfortable thing. It might feel offensive, to many, whether it's family members or whether it's those like, well, let me just, take them up the road. Let me just do. If there is really no plan set in action on how to, almost like, what would you do? Like, if there is no, I'm trying to get my words. That poor baby. If there is like nothing set in place, if there are not going to be, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, Princess Medaya. Once you finish that, we'll bring up this comment and you can read this one off, but go ahead and finish your thought.
Okay. I believe that it is always important for there to be two adults going out with children. If there is an older woman that wants to take children out, I know not everyone that is mature in age is the same, because you have those that might carry something with them and they are able to fend for themselves. I've seen different reports of it where it's just like that scenario would not have ended the same way in certain locations. But for a big majority of the time, that's not necessarily something. If someone has babies with them, they're like, well, I don't want anything they can possibly harm themselves with. So they just go under the thought process of like, okay, they have them, everything is fine. This is again where I believe it just ties right back into family matters, is being able to be surrounded by known and trusted people, to where if they see someone's grandmother, they see someone's mother, elderly mother out with little people, is being able to even just watch from a distance. I would even just kind of say it like, speak it in times now, like if I'm out and about in the store with my Ish, with my husband, and I remotely, think I see someone that is either older with little people and they could look a bit vulnerable without judging books by their covers. But if they look like, or it looks like it could be a young woman and she has children, if it could be, it looks like a man and it's just him and his children, people are going to try who they think are easy targets. Even if it might not be easy, if they have to fight for it and they want something bad enough, being able to look at different scenarios and be able to properly, I don't want to say determine the outcome, like, you can just look at it, but I know exactly how this is going to go. But just being in a place of readiness and having situational awareness, I will say really has to play a major part. Having certain things in place for children to know what to do, and also for the adults that are with them. If it seems like it's going to be like one adult and they might not be the most capable by themselves, especially with smaller children like that, where you have to make a decision between who do you stay with, who do you help, do you go after the one that's been grabbed or do you stay with the ones that's there? It did look like somebody stopped to get out the vehicle and see what was going on, because it's like you're trying to figure out, what's going on. So I feel like I don't want to say like I'm just like rambling, but goodness,
I understand.
Situational awareness. And Ben, I believe having things set in place was like, okay, if you want to take the children out, who else is going to be there? Or it's like, well, no, let's go do things as a group.
Yeah.
Let's go do things all together. If there are not, again, going to be two able-bodied adults, because again, people will look, and that's how they're able to determine, if I, was to pursue, or if I was to go and want to harm somebody first and then do the crime. Like, again, people are going to look for who looks like an easy target. You remotely have a lip, look like you have something going on. If you look like you are easily distracted,
yeah,
they are going to want to get you. And it's like, especially if you have to try and choose between multiple, like either young, like little ones or bigger little ones. Like if you have to choose, that is going to put people in a rough situation, because it's like you don't, especially if you don't know how many attackers there could possibly be.
That right there. Mm-hmm.
That could be a distraction. Take one, and then it's like, even if one is recovered, and it's not to, say like it's doom and gloom, because I pray that, things were able to be well with that situation. But just being able to look at things, being
Oh.
able to look at things. Okay, I know we have a lot of comments coming up, so
Oh wow, yeah, they just came in.
okay, yeah. So I'll basically put on a halt so we can read some of the comments that did come in because
Okay, wow. Papa and Auntie literally at 5:15, they said the same thing. We're gonna go up to Gabarret. Can you see this?
Kane, I can see it.
Okay, you can go ahead and take this one.
All right, Gabir says it's important to remind our children that they are set apart from the others. Hence, this is why you cannot do what they are doing and you cannot go where they go.
Can,
Yeah,
can,
I agree with that.
All right, we train the children to walk in a line whenever we go out. You know what that reminds me of? Please forgive me if this sounds offensive, please, but it reminds me of the ducklings. I think that is just so cute. That is so cute. Okay, so please let me know if that was offensive or not. I think that's how the ducklings do, and that's a system that's good, especially if you have a good number of Yeledeem of children. That's good. Auntie said, keep your head on a swivel. Papa said, keep heads on a swivel. Situational awareness is key. That is right. All right. Good Barrett said, oh, I'm sorry. I got the pictures mixed up. Aim said, Kane, that is why everyone in my family needs to learn social awareness and what to do what to do and how to move. You can't prevent things all the time, but being aware could make the difference. That's right. Like you said, like my sister, I think you were trying to say this earlier. I know that video was a little, it was a little gut wrenching. As you said, you see the older lady and then you see the little one in distress. Like you said, we can't predict everything, but being prepared for situations in the best way you can, that's better than doing nothing. There was a time before, of course, me and my sister were married. We were at Walmart, you all, and sweet God, we were at Walmart. My sister and I think we were done checking out our groceries because what we would do when we would travel as a family, and it was a good number of us, we would just all wait. Sometimes we would go to the car, but it would have to be a group of us go to the car. Mm-hmm. We were done checking out our groceries, and me and my sister were just standing near the bathroom, and there was this man walk up to us. He had black gloves on. I remember he had a hat, low cut, I think like blonde hair, and he was like, "Hey, have you could you girls go check in the bathroom? Waiting for my friend." He just said waiting for his friend or somebody. She's in the bathroom. She's been in there a long time. Just trying to see if y'all can go in there and see if she's in there, y'all. In about 2 seconds, our papa came over there, and a few of our brothers, I know this may sound dramatic, but they were literally close enough to smell that man's neck. They were looking at him because they were trying to see. And he knew they were right there, but he never turned around to look at them. He's just looking at us. He was like, you guys, and he was really, really trying to press me and my sister to go in that bathroom and find someone that was in there. And I can't remember the full thing, but I do believe that my father got his attention, and he asked him, exactly what it is that he was looking for, what it is he was looking for. And, then he tells Papa and things like that. He was really quick with our Papa. He wasn't taking the same time and urgency he was taking with me and my sister. Mm-hmm. And, I remember our aim, she was at the cash register, and the cashier said, she said he could have asked somebody that worked at the store. She even thought it was really suspicious how he approached my sister and I. And so when he was walking away, he kind of did like a real eerie look back. I remember that he did a really eerie look back at us, and he just kept walking. We thought that was suspicious. I think our aim and the cashier checked in the bathroom. They said nobody was in there. Nobody was in there. They said, did he just leave the store? He just left the store. So it appeared as
he was a truck driver.
Yeah, he went right back to his truck. So you all, it's very important, like you said. And me and my sister, we would talk about that. Like, what if we didn't have our brothers and our father there? Not saying that we're gullible, but if you're really, like the man said in the video, as women, sometimes we're like, oh, what's wrong? What's going on? We're a little more prone to who needs help. And, we don't know what that could have turned into possibly. So when I tell you they were close enough they were really, really close and they got him in check real fast and he left you all. So we're grateful to the Most High for that. Mm-hmm. All right. I think this was on the comment with having the children close, like the duckling family. Mm-hmm. That's why we do it. That's awesome. Awesome. Shalom, shalom, Adon.
Shalom.
Something weird happened to us like that. Look, it happens.
Mm-hmm. People gonna test the waters.
That's right, Auntie.
He does not. He does not. And just being able to add to it is when we share our experiences. It's not ever to look down on anybody that might not have the same thing in their situations. Like what we share is to be able to again bring awareness and be able to not just talk about it. My sister mentioned earlier about the app called I think it's Life 360. Big brother-in-law had posted it for our last talk session we were in and was saying it's an app that can be used. I checked to make sure both iPhone and Android can have it. And that way, for family members that have cell phone devices that can be utilized. And if there is at least one person in the group that can have it, it's still being able to, learn to utilize that as a collective and be able to keep up with one another. Because we know that this like situations and scenarios, they don't always end that way where someone is able to be there. But again, that is the focal point of, why we share the things that we share, again, when it comes to the situational awareness and things that can be done if we can keep, help be able to keep eyes on one another. If it's like, okay, hey, I know your whereabouts again, like me and my sister are 6.5 hours away from each other.
Yeah.
But if me and my husband are going out doing something like at the store, look, she gonna know where we are. Our parents, Papa, Mama, Ayala, they're gonna know where we are. And we make sure to check on parents too, because they feel like because they're grown, they can go places without having to be like they're just so grown they can't go. They going places. We got to keep tabs on them. These grown people, making sure we know where they're going. Yes. But no, being able to again have a close knit connection with family and friends to be able to know, okay, this is where we are. This is what we do. This is kind of like our pattern of things. Yeah. So that again we'll be able to keep up with one another, bringing again that awareness. Like, hey, I saw this is something that was going on in your area. Are y'all aware of this? So that's what we want to do is bring that awareness to the different locations we're in. Because I believe everyone that's probably tuning in is tuning in from somewhere completely different. It's maybe same state, but different cities. So anything that we do is wanting to be able to, again, just bring a type of awareness as well as being able to like be accountable for one another with the different things that we know are going on. So
King. That was great. You can take this comment, Rakasha.
Right. Auntie Wendy says, I'm going to send you all some of the recent tricks that traffickers are trying. I get updates on a regular, and that is good. Staying aware on what they are doing, because just as we are being aware, they are doing the same thing. And a lot of times they do not just, they don't just use, snatch and grab. If they feel like it is a heavier person or multiple people know how to put chemicals together that will cause reactions. You smell it, you touch it, you step on it, chemical reaction. And next thing you know, you're lightly drugged without you having to necessarily put it completely in your system. So yes, I believe that would be really helpful to us. Thank you for that, Auntie.
Yes, thank you.
Anything we can do to be able to be aware, anything we can help with the awareness and be able, again, just to be that helps to one another. I think that's beneficial. So
yes, spreading the awareness, like you say, awareness is better than nothing. And when people are aware, you can actually potentially take down those numbers by whether it's the tens, the thousands, it doesn't matter, but taking down that number of the victims with showing with showing awareness. My children share their location with me and are always Oops.
That's
Oh
good.
my goodness. Yes.
That's
Yes.
what that's exactly what I was like. Look, we got to be stalking parents out here because y'all be thinking y'all
Yes.
grown,
No,
so
thank
we
y'all.
got to make sure, right? Make sure we keeping tabs on people. You
Yes.
know,
I don't know who told our parents that they're grown. Mm-mm.
right? Like
Give them the right to just be
tabs on
doing.
y'all. Just be fast out here.
But
But
yes, that awareness is very important. That awareness is very, very important. And like my sister said, let's just say you're a person, because we do want to say this, men and young men get snatched as well. Like you said, you all, there's no telling what's being done for what reason. But for whatever it is, there's a criteria. They're looking for it. And according to a lot of our missing cases, they're meeting their numbers somehow, some or another. So even with men, men and women, I'm about to go out. I'm about to be here. Having a good network is important too. That's what having a good network and people that know your patterns. Like my sister knows if there is something like maybe not one day. One day is okay, but you're all right. You're doing good. Yeah. 2 days, maybe not feeling too well. 3 or 4 days, something is a little different. This pattern has changed. Is everything okay? That's just, I'm not saying you have to talk to people every day. Um, I'm not saying you have to talk to people every day, but having a good pattern and having others that recognize that pattern will help save you as well. Save you some time if that is what would be needed. Try to snatch me if you want, mess around and their spirit be snatched by the Supreme King. I know that's right. And as Papa and Amy would call him, big fella, big fella that came. So just being aware, situational awareness, absolutely. And you all just having a good network, having a network, like say, I know there are people that will call themselves introverts, which brings us back to getting into our icebreaker questions. I know there are people that are introverts, extroverts, all those type of things, but still, it's about safety, and having a close knit support system. They don't have to be blood family, but if they're blood family, that is great. Especially for our elders that are by themselves. Always follow your first minute if something doesn't feel right. It isn't. I like that. I do like that. Let's see. Okay, let's get these icebreaker questions. Oh, mind. Mind. So always follow your first mind. Thank you for the clarity. Thank you for the clarity. All right, we're about to bring an icebreaker up. Please bear with me because you all, as you all have been seeing for the night, this thing has me struggling a little bit. Oh, here we go. Yes, indeed. All right, here we go. So our icebreakers are as follows. All right, this is an interesting one. What music does she like? Ah. Did I go first last time or
um,
I did? I
you were
did.
first because you asked about the color.
Yeah, it's your turn.
All right. So it is asking what music does my sister like? I think we had covered this for one of our other icebreakers when I was asking about a favorite style of music.
Yeah.
So my sister being a musician, being a singer, she likes a variety of music styles, music genre, from what's considered like the foreign tunes, to R&B. She likes you like jazz. She
Yeah.
likes jazz. Yeah, she likes pop. She likes Afro pop. So she likes, again, I feel like the vast genres of music. But the music that I remember she would listen to, like, yeah, she can sing, that she would listen to was the Afro beats, the Afro pop. I remember she would listen to those a lot. And I would say R&B. She would listen to her R&B too, and pop.
Why, thank you. Now, what's the little options at the bottom?
And I would say, and I had to go and make sure when it came to the optimist and the pessimist part. I was like, let me be sure, I know what I'm talking about. Okay. My sister is an optimist. And I wanted to make sure, that I want to look and see the difference and why. So optimism is the tendency to expect positive results, focusing on hope, opportunity, and the bright side of situations. And I will say that my sister, she is one that is optimistic, if it had to be chosen out of the two, because again, in different scenarios and in different things, I will say in many situations, she has encouraged me to be on the bright side, to look, to be hopeful. There are things that she has definitely encouraged me to be hopeful in. So my sister is an optimist, you all.
Soda. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, now my turn. Okay, so my sister, she definitely likes her R&B. She also likes, as she said, her foreign songs. A lot of those would be Korean songs or Mandarin songs. So when she said that I like my foreign ones, she's right. There's a few songs in Swahili I listen to. There's a few songs in Japanese I listen to. A few songs in, there's only one Korean song I really like, and that's because of my sister. It's from an ancient drama that we watched. That one is amazing.
Sorry, that wasn't Korean.
Wolfie wasn't Korean?
No, ma'am.
Wolfie was Mandarin? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay, so that's about 4 or 5 Mandarin songs. About 4 or 5 Mandarin songs that I listen to, and I actually sing the lyrics to. There has to be maybe there's not.
Lee Wei Young, you listen to the soundtrack. Lee Wei Young.
Yes. Okay. So we're going into names here, but for my sister, yeah, she loves the same. She loves her Mandarin songs. I think Swahili as well. The Totally Sisters. She likes her R&B, so she likes Casey and JoJo. I'm not really sure about Music Soul Child. Mary J. She likes a plethora of her songs. Of course, she likes. You left out, truth music. But that goes without saying. So, like I say, it's a plethora of genres because she is a singer as well. Let us know what you're not understanding, Auntie, and we'll elaborate. Okay, and if I had to say, my sister is an introvert. I was gonna save that one for last, but I want to go ahead and say it. My sister is an introvert, y'all. Indubitably.
Give an example to the audience of why you would say I was an introvert.
She's an introvert just because I feel like when it comes to, okay, here it is. We had social media, y'all. We had a page together. I would have to, I was the one that mostly going live and doing the interacting and things like that. And she's just not and it's not a bad thing. She's an introvert. Even when we would go to the store, I'm gonna just put this out here, all right? We would go to the store sometimes. We'd get up to the cash register. Mona, can you do it? Huh? I was like, you're right here. Just put the groceries on. Can I do it? She was like, I'll just give you the money for it. Can you just do it? I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. So yes, I'm talking about not just the internet, but in person. She'll want me to pay for the item so she doesn't have to talk to the person. I'm like, you don't have to talk if you don't want to. You can just say hello. You don't have to be rude, but oh my goodness gracious. But that I would do it for her. But then sometimes I'm like, all right, you have to do this one. But she definitely, with other things, definitely grew out of that. But she's still an introvert. Yeah, she's an introvert. She's nice. All right, we will keep going because we are almost at that marker to close out. Let's see. Oh, what is her favorite TV show? You want to go first, or you want me to?
I was laughing at what Auntie said.
Right, right. This is the part right here. That's the part. A little fiery introvert, I might say.
What? I'm like a ninja. You don't even see me.
Goodness.
Oh, man. But yes, I would. Wait, I think I went first with it. Deciding on what your favorite music was.
Oh, okay. So her favorite TV show. Okay, so if I could, again, you all, we watch anime. So as far as her favorite show, I don't even think her favorite show would be an American show. If I had to think about her favorite show, Liwa Young is one of the ones that comes into mind when it comes to a Mandarin show. When it comes to a Korean show, ooh, that one's a little hard because I know Love 0210 was one, but I don't think that's a favorite one.
that was Chinese too. Love 02.
That was Chinese?
That was Chinese.
I'm sorry, you all. I would get confused as to which was which. But it was evidently Mandarin, so forgive me. Didn't mean any harm. Okay, so then I'm gonna say Lee Wei Young when it comes to your favorite show. I don't really hear a hype about a certain show. What's an American one? You have to kind of lend me in on that one.
So I feel like, oh my goodness, if we're talking about animated, then I would have to. Ooh, hold on. That's a good question. I gotta ask myself. Hold on.
Okay, so we gotta do an animated one and then a live action.
Okay, so an animated TV show, I would have to say Bratz. That was one of my favorite animated TV shows. A live action favorite TV show.
That's what I'm trying to think. Like when we got older, our taste changed. As we got older, our taste really changed.
Yeah, I would have to say again, if it's live action, I'm gonna end up just going with Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin, Time Force, SPD.
Oh my goodness.
Dino Thunder.
Dino Thunder.
Yeah, I would say Power Rangers. I'll be sitting there. Yeah, Power Rangers, because I could watch the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie live action.
Oh yeah.
I could watch that one. I'd be sitting there like, "Ooh, it's cringy, but this is legit." Like, I'm sitting there enjoying my cringe. Okay, so I have to say the Power Rangers.
The Power Rangers. You see how we had to go back, you all, because like I say, TV shows, they have definitely changed. We're 90s babies, if you would say. We're 90s babies, so a lot of our shows we're loyal to those back then ones. For me, there's one that is modern just because it has a special place.
I know that one.
What is it?
One of her favorite TV shows, y'all, is Stranger Things. She's been trying to get me to finish it since a couple seasons back. So I'm like, I have to catch up so I can understand what all the hype, not in a bad way, but her show is Stranger Things.
What about my animated? What about my animated one?
Animated, I would have to go with Bratz because I know we like Totally Spies, but I feel like Bratz would probably.
Yeah, I mean, like, what about? I'm talking about current in my adult years.
In your adult years, animated is probably gonna come from the anime universe.
Yeah, it's in the anime universe.
So it's gonna be Demon Slayer.
Yes.
And it's gonna be Demon Slayer.
Yes. And so like as we got older, you all, our favorite shows really the American ones really got out of that category and been our favorite. It was more so anime and things like that. Again, because for anime, before you all, anyone might want to look on to like anime, well, that's awkward. Anime, believe it or not, is very family oriented. There's anime and manga that literally is just about life and family. One of our favorite manga is Yatsuba. Yatsuba was about 16 book or 16 collection series on a little girl named Yatsuba. I think she was an islander adopted by Koiwai. And oh my goodness, Jumbo. And it was just family oriented. It was, a young man who decided to adopt a little girl. He was a little socially awkward, but he was managing in life and he had family around him. I'm talking about friends around him. You all, it was just very, it was very peaceful. And as I have gotten older, I really do understand why a lot of so-called Black or melanated African American, how some people may, identify us. A lot of our people were heavily into manga and anime. Again, we do not co-sign all anime and we do not co-sign all manga. We absolutely do not. So if you're all wondering, it's not even a whole lot that I watch. It's only certain ones. And I watch a lot of times for principles and, I watch for deeper meanings in some of the shows that I watch. But a lot of times it's that family that we should have within our family unit that you can find within a lot of these manga and anime. Everything is family oriented. You all, it is. And that's why we push that family matters and also push that if you do cartoons and you do movies, we need some of this stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes. I remember I was visiting grandma and she was watching her Asian stories.
Yes, that was yay, grandma.
Laying on the bed, watching my grandma, watching her Asian stories. It was so interesting.
And drinking coffee.
Yeah, drinking coffee, but for me, decaf coffee. Special fact or fun fact about Nasika Amuna. I don't drink caffeinated coffee. I really can't drink caffeinated coffee, so I stick to decaf. But yes, I do love my coffee, and my sister loves her coffee. You're gonna always see her with coffee. Matter of fact, she showed me her coffee grinder today for her coffee beans. Oh my goodness gracious! But yes, listen, we still have a few more because again, we're not trying to keep y'all long, but we do appreciate everybody that stayed in. Looks like we have now the majority rules on YouTube. So if you're new, please subscribe if you would like. All right, so let's see. Oh, where is her favorite place in the world? Oh, that's your turn.
I think I still had to do one for your sister is.
Oh yeah, you gotta do one for your sister is. I'm sorry.
I will say my sister is. I will say, as expressive as she is, my sister is still an introvert, y'all. She had to be an outtrovert because I was so in. I was like, look, my foot gonna be in the door while hers was out the door. So she extroverted so I could introvert.
That is fair. That is fair. That is the responsibility of a big sister. You have to come out of your comfortable zone sometimes. But that is right. I actually agree with her. I'm not an extrovert. And I do now I realize with ministry, I do have to get out of that. But, my Ish helps me. And like I say, my sister forced me into it by being a big sister. You do have to come out of being an introvert when you have a little sister. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, I love fresh ground coffee. So are there decaf coffee beans that I could grind up? Is that a thing? Is that not a thing?
I want to say,
if it's not, I understand.
I want to say, wait, who was a little diva as a child?
Not I. Oh, not I. I was a country.
You probably was a country diva. You weren't no bumpkin. You weren't no bumpkin. You probably a country diva.
All right. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and just get to the next question. Where's your favorite place in the world? And then What is your favorite thing about her? Okay, we can go ahead and get those out because once we're done with this, we're going to say our final remarks and we're going to close out.
Oh,
Hey,
goodness.
Grandma.
Hey, Grandma. What is her favorite place in the world?
Don't think about my favorite place in the world. Think about a place that I've really wanted to visit since I was a little girl. I talk about it often. One of our favorite movies was filmed there. That should give it away right there.
Um,
You
New
got it.
Zealand.
New Zealand.
Go
Yes.
and visit the Hobbit houses, y'all. We want to go and see hobbits and
That's not
we wanna go
just
to
it. That's not
Shire.
because the Hobbit houses. No, I really do want to visit New Zealand. You can get decaf coffee beans. Oh, well, that just brought it up another level. I have to look into that. That'll make me feel special. That will, even though I know that's probably not the best natural thing. It's what I can take. But yes, New Zealand is so beautiful. I've watched a lot of videos on New Zealand. One of the things I do want to do is visit of course, the set where they did Lord of the Rings, but just the open land, the beautiful water, all that green out there. Yes, that is one of the places I wanted to visit for a long time. Now, my sister, where's a place that you want to visit or your favorite place in the world? That's interesting. Hold on, I'm gonna give it a shot. Um,
Trying to think about it too.
I don't think you've ever discussed that before. I don't think you've ever discussed that. Even though you wanted to, even though you were learning Korean and Japanese, I don't think that Japan was a major place you wanted to visit.
That was optional because I wanted to go and try their coffee.
I do want to go to Japan and Korea because I love their cafes. I watch videos on their little cafes and it's so cute.
So I think I would really just have to be probably the same place that you said because I want to go visit the Shire, y'all. I do want to go and the mountains, Gandalf mountains. I want to go to the Shire.
No,
I think that would be fun.
All right. Now, here is our last question. What is your favorite thing about her? I'll go. I want to go. So, there's a lot of things I love about my sister. One of the things I love about her, and this is just its own little sidebar, I think is very special and it's a reflection of her spirit. Children love someone TT. She said, oh my goodness, your cousin will be right with you all. I can see that. Children love her. Children love her. And it's often said that animals and children can tell a lot about a person's spirit. And children love her. They really do. Like they are very attached to her. Since she's been young, children have just gravitated to her. Yes, they gravitate to both of us, but it's a difference in what I see how children gravitate to her. So that says a lot about her. That's so if I was teaching my students, I usually say insert evil laugh. My high schoolers already know that about me. I say insert evil laugh, and that's usually the laugh that comes out. But don't worry, it's not really evil. There's nothing evil about me.
And then you laugh afterwards.
Oh, no, that laugh was uncontrollable. As I said, I laugh a lot, y'all. But it's her ability to draw children, and then she just kind of can navigate in life. I've seen her navigate in life. Seeing somebody who's so small and so little and so feisty as a little one, goodness gracious, grow up to now be a level-headed young lady. Not that she wasn't level-headed, but but seeing her develop and seeing her grow, that has been, very, very interesting. So yes, that's one of my favorite things. Oh yeah, I can see that.
Oh my goodness. All right, it's my turn. What is my favorite thing about her? My favorite thing about my sister. As she said, there are a lot of things that that I can say about my sister, but I think I will go back to the little bottom portion where it says your sister is a, and I would say she is an optimist, but I would say that my sister is one that truly walks in Amuna. When that walks, in Imani, the Swahili of um that sounds aggressive. I never do that. Anyways, but yes, one of the things that I love about my sister is she is she has been a woman, a young lady. I'll even say a little girl that has been strong and firm, and that has truly I said yes, I did. I can neither confirm nor deny that. Thank you, Auntie. I will say how strong and level-headed that I have learned from my sister to be. And moments and times where I was like fisticuffs and knuckles, my sister was like, let's think this through. Let's say la, let's stop and think. And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking, with these like, but anyways, but no, just again, she said how I, learned to manage, things in life. I will say her ability to always be there for me. That I will have to say is one of my favorite things about my sister is that through ups and downs, through upside downs, you catch it in the upside down.
Yeah.
My sister has managed to be there for me. Honestly, even times when I was not there for her, she managed to still be there for me. And I will say that is my favorite thing about my sister is that again, she has been I will say strong-willed, but not in the sense of like not in a bad sense, but again, just her ability to always be there. She's always there with open arms, even if I was like, no, I don't want to. She was like, I'll be just here waiting. And so her ability to stay loving and strong. And my favorite overall thing is having her as my big sister.
Oh
She cries.
my gosh. I'm a crybaby. Well, I'm not a baby. I'm a crying lady, if that's the word. Toda. That touched a very, very, very special part in my heart. So Toda. Yes. So as I said one time before on here, it's okay to cry, it's okay to laugh. We just want a safe place for individuals to be able to come on and be themselves. Again, we're both on a journey to be Proverbs women, righteous women. And it is a journey. It takes sacrifice. It does take a lot of self-control. It takes a lot of just sitting back and thinking, you all. Again, and it does take a lot of patience as well. It does. So I definitely appreciate those words, my baby sister. I do. Sometimes I'll be on social media, y'all, and I see the sister videos that they have going on. I just be like, oh my goodness. And we'll send each other sister videos. And I'm like, you trying to make me cry? Especially if I have to get ready for school. She'll be sending them to me right when I have to get before the children. I'm wiping my eyes and oh my goodness gracious. Let's see what Ames said. Beautiful words from the both of you to the both of you by note, and all said was nothing but the truth. Oh, Toda. Oh. It said, wow, so amazing how much you all remind me of me and your mom. She was my protector. Oh, that right there. Are y'all trying to get us crying more on the show? Goodness gracious.
Take that, tear ducts.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But yes, we love doing these questionnaires, the questionnaires and the quizzes, the sister quizzes, because we hope that this will become something that really becomes normal. Again, it doesn't have to be your blood sister, but we push. If you have family that you are able to mend bonds with, or a family that you could grow better with, then please do so. Do so. And again, it doesn't have to just be blood family. It's good to have a well-rounded unit of family and a support system. I'm telling you, it takes you a long way. It takes you a long way. There's a thing that they tell you Now, advocates tell you that if you're going to the emergency room, it's good to have someone there that's an advocate for you, someone there that has your back in layman's terms.
Mhm.
Um, all and see, this right here was, what is the thing called? This is a witness of what we're trying to do. It's meant to be refreshing. So thank you, Auntie. We're so glad that it is refreshing. We
Yes.
love you, and we hope that you'll tune in more. We'll have these every Wednesday, most high willing. You know, we're available at these hours, 4:10 or 4:15, depending on the day. Let me tell y'all something behind the scenes, y'all. Them extra minutes, they definitely count and add up. But
Yes.
as I was saying, at the hospital, it is recommended that you have an advocate because it's somebody that is your support system, in short. So if they advocate an advocate for going to the hospital, because one, the hospital sometimes can get your nerves up. Sometimes you're not aware of exactly what to answer. Yes, no, maybe. An advocate is there to help you. So how much more in life should we have that same support? You know, it shouldn't have to just be in hospitals, or, you know, you have a lawyer because a lawyer is there to help you with your case. The same thing should be, but in a better, in a more natural environment with family. So
Mhm.
that's what we push. Family matters. We're gonna push that, y'all, forever and ever and ever. We're gonna push it forever. So family definitely matters. We pray that y'all enjoyed this segment. It lasted a little longer than we wanted it to. But we
Right.
hope that y'all enjoy something that was said, whether it was the laughing, the crying, or the topic, what's in a name. Maybe it makes you think about your current name, or even your potential children, or even your current children's names. One thing I do want to say, I think I said, and I cut myself off. In our culture, it was customary for, it was optional, of course, for when a woman was married, her husband had right to change her name. You know, now we do the last name changing, but he was able to change her first name. So I say that to say, even with our forefathers, um, it went from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and then his name was later changed to Israel. So name changing because of the situation, it should not be frowned upon. What's in a name? Let's just say you came into this awakening. If you feel like you've been transformed, I would say talk to a mora or more, a teacher, and get some counseling on, hey, I really want to change my name because I feel like this is where the Most High has taken me. It's not bad. I'm not saying you should be ashamed of your birth name. No, but I'm saying according to our culture, name changing is and was normal. Of course, according to your situation and where you're at. And with that being said, what's in a name? A lot is in a name. Destiny, affirmation, where you're going, how you believe in yourself. And with that, yes, shalom, shalom. And please tune in to our next one. Also, stay tuned for my Ish and the Honorable Chief Prince Zabulin for Sage Talk at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. You don't want to miss that. Sister, do you have any closing remarks?
I see we have from Gaberit. She says, Toda, very refreshing and encouraging.
Oh, Toad, I love
Those
you
are,
too.
yes, those are the words that I love to see, and, things that I love to hear. And I love being able to do this. Um, to me, it's refreshing,
Yes.
Mom said loves it. Yes. Again, Toda, thank you to all that have joined in, that, participated, that shared things, like, so to be able to have those, that remember seeing us from when we was, little bitty peoples,
Oh,
to
gracious.
being able to see us in the now, and be able to still share in the love, share in the laughter, and share in the family. Um, I think that's very important. Again, like every topic I believe that we cover is going to stay wrapped up in family matters.
Yes.
And yes, you all matter. Those that are listening, those, whether you said something or whether you
Mhm.
just took your time out, again, to spend this hour and 40, almost going on 45 minutes, with us, to see us up here laughing and crying and, you know, um, sharing the different topics, that we share. Yes, I enjoy these segments. Again, these are helpful, and I will say healing to me, and I'm grateful to hear that it is helpful and healing to others. And I,
Yes.
pray that we're able to continue to do these, because we again started our journey as Fab Sisters a good little while ago, and to
Yes.
be able to pick up, and just kind of have those moments back, I was like, whew. Gracious, being able to share, taking our experiences as young women, but I would say just on our different experiences and being able to share and encourage those that listen,
Yes.
and being able to, again, make it a safe space. So I am enjoying this, journey thus far. I'm grateful for our husbands, encouraging us to want to do this.
Absolutely.
For their support behind the scenes. I'm truly grateful, that they are able to see us, and again, that they want for us to have this laughter. They want us to have this time and this space to be able to share with everyone. So
Okay.
I am grateful for that. So yes, I think that's all for now.
Also, for those who are not aware, my Ishinar, our single, was released on all platforms. Please go check out that song, I Just Want to Give. You can find it under I Just Want to Give, but just in case that doesn't come up and you don't see the picture, you can look for us under Baid Mazan Music. Let me see, y'all. As I said, sharing my screen today has really been a tassel or a hassle of its own. It really has. As in right now, I can't, I'm trying to find it. I have a picture up here. I want to show y'all before we get off. And thank you, Auntie. That really does mean a lot to us. Okay, image file. Where is it? Okay, so I might be getting close, y'all. Let's see. It's still giving me the blues. I see. Still giving me the blues. Give me a second. All right, this is the song right here, you all. It's a new single. It's on all streaming platforms. I Just Want to Give. Available now. Please, please go support the song. We have more music coming soon. And yeah, and also we have more streaming music coming as well. So please support. We're trying to push, or not we're trying, but we're pushing righteous, set apart, and some thinking music out there. We put thought and love and heart into what we do. So please support. I Just Want to Give. All right. With that, we are going to go ahead and end this. Let me get this off the screen. Let me attempt to go back to us being on normal. And yes, everybody have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all next time.
Yes. See y'all next week.
Yes, shalom.
I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. I see a dream, that dream is green. And I don't mean material things. Freedom to the land, child, woman, and man. As we take up for what we stand. Better days and better nights. As we stand and unite. We're one and the same. Why is it so hard not to point and to blame? Better sheet, get our houses in order and we'll see the peace. There are steps that we must take if we want to see.
I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us.
The sake of us, the sake
I
of
see
us.
my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. No more failing, telling me beneath. What a beautiful moment, and a sight I can't wait to see. Even if I miss it, at least I wasn't part of the mission. Changing lives of men, women, and children. All glory goes to He that causes us all to be. And if they're thinking we can, we show them that just as long as we stand, a monument. We the people can't be broken as long as we stay focused. I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. For the sake I of see us. My people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. I see my people rising.